Hey guys, it's your boy Diego at it again. I recently watched the new Star Wars Outlaws gameplay alongside the rest of the Ubisoft showcase. And I wanted to say, I'm pretty excited, but likewise, I also have some fears and doubts. And it is Ubisoft, right? So let's temper our expectations. But with that out of the way, we can get into the news and see what our hot takes are over here at 3 Lives Left. So this game follows a small-time outlaw, Kay Vess, who's trying to make her way in the world of Star Wars. And as the game progresses, she gets embroiled in a huge conflict between competing crime syndicates as she tries to pull off the biggest heist there's ever been. Seemingly too, there's even some interlinkage with the old trilogy movies, specifically as they show Han Solo and Kryptonite being delivered to Jabba the Hutt. But over our journey, Kay goes from a nobody to a hardened outlaw, or as the creative director likes to call her, a scoundrel.
True scoundrel adventure. Scoundrel, you lean into the scoundrel and the scoundrel gameplay. And there aren't other games where you play a scoundrel. When we were thinking, again, scoundrel fantasy.
Right.
What's the scoundrel? As a scoundrel, you live and die by scoundrel fantasy.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
During Kay's journey, she needs allies both new and old. One guy who looks like a charming Lando Calrissian type. One is her pet Nix, who looks to be sort of a crossover of Cal Kestis' BD-1 droid from Fallen Order and also Grogu from Mandalorian. But honestly, what has me more excited is Kay's unique commando droid friend, ND5. And the internet is really liking this guy, and I mean really liking him. I also hope that they just give him a proper and cool backstory, maybe even mention the Clone Wars. Honestly, the Clone Wars was some of the best Star Wars content we ever got, and this would be a perfect opportunity to translate that old animated style to a more realistic look. Hear me out, they could definitely do flashbacks to perhaps his old life in the war. I could only imagine what that would look like. Other than that, the trailer itself covers a lot of ground. It's a refreshing new perspective to have someone other than a Jedi. The gameplay looks really similar to EA's Battlefront 2 with its third-person over-the-shoulder camera, and they displayed a lot of combat, stealth, gadgets. She uses speeder bike, and even there are dogfights in space. Overall, the graphics look good, and the combat has a lot of potential. But still, something seemed just off to me. How long have we, as gamers, been asking for an open-world Star Wars game? All the cool planets are there, the lore, awesome environments, and, hot aliens. But I'm afraid, what if they mess it up? They said that this game is open world and it features planets both quote-unquote iconic and new. But to what extent? Will these planets feature just one area or region, or will they actually have multiple cities and biomes? For the love of God, please don't overuse Tatooine. We can do without the sand, as Anakin once said.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
But most important to me is that they just don't give this game the Ubisoft treatment, if you know what I mean. The developers behind Star Wars Outlaws is Massive Entertainment, which is the same studio that was behind the Division series, but they also worked on Far Cry 3, which I loved, and they worked on AC Revelations, which I also loved. So, they have a mixed track record in my mind. But even when relating this game to other similar Star Wars titles, I thought Fallen Order and Survivor were great games, but they fell into that Star Wars trope of reusing many boring planets, especially sand planets, that didn't capitalize on the true depth and diversity that the Star Wars universe can offer. I just hope that this game can attempt to branch out into a part of the Star Wars universe we haven't seen before. Something else, while not critical to gameplay, also has me very worried: the dialogue. From what they've shown, not gonna lie, our character, Kay Vess, seems kinda cringy. And to be honest, I'm really tired of this new writing trope with a lot of characters that make them bold and young and they think they can just take on whatever it is in the galaxy. And more often than not, this makes them more annoying. We already got that in the sequel trilogy with Rey, Finn, and Rose, and well, we saw how that turned out. But in many modern games, this form of dialogue that suffers from poor writing seems to be the norm, whether that be Mass Effect Andromeda, the new Saints Row, and even a game I played a lot, Borderlands 3.
Today I'm playing Borderlands 3, but if I cringe, I restart the game. This is gonna be tough. Ugh.
What up, my
Okay, I lied. I'm not fine. I don't know if I can do this.
Too many characters just come off as quirky, and the writers don't need everyone to be this sort of sarcastic teenager young adult type. There's actually a lot of depth and even some wisdom in a more gruff older character who's seen what's been around the block. Anyhow, just please leave the cringy dialogue at the door. Real talk, I think our companion commando droid looks way more interesting than the main character, and I kinda wish we were playing as him instead. I'm also probably the millionth person to say this, but when can we have an open world Star Wars bounty hunting game? Like Star Wars 1313. But I guess that's just too much to ask for. Either way, all I want is that they just give us a good, solid story with interesting characters, cool places to explore, and give us a ride, you know, with all the ups and downs. Fallen Order and Survivor gave us Cal Kestis, and those games have been a really cool twist on that old classic Souls-like formula of gameplay. This game too has a lot of potential, and I only hope they can live up to it. But I mean, Ubisoft has a really good track record, right? Anyhow, that's the 3 Lives Left take. Let us know in the comments below what you thought and give us some ideas. This was our second attempt at a more news-like analysis of upcoming gaming content, as we're trying to branch our channel into new, perspective areas. I hope you all enjoyed it, and once again, this is Diego from 3 Lives Left, signing out. I'll catch you next time.